You are listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Melbourne to Baltimore, from London to Piraeus. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never lose the latest updates and stories of the team you love. This is our team, our city, and our land. Man Aoniro Trello. You're listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Gate 7 International Podcast, your official English source for all things Olympiacos FC and Greek football. My name is Peter Thompson. I am here with Ari Bouloubasis. We've both got our matching Olympiacos hats on today. Shout out, Ari, for giving me this hat. Although we're not talking about Olympiacos today, we're going to be talking about the Greek national team, Ethniki Omada. We've got some games coming up for the first time in a while. And we're going to break down the squad. We're going to talk about tactics a little bit and maybe just a little bit of chatting about the 3 games that come up. How's it going, Adi?
It's a little early, Peter. It's a little early.
It is a little early.
Coffee. Mikali's sleeping, but can't complain, man. Get up, talk about some football, even if it's Ethniki Omada. It's not Costa and Lambro's favorite thing, but you and I still love it.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, it is. It's 4:22 a.m. here for me. We will talk about the Ethniki Omada today. This is what we'll talk about. I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I will be in big trouble, is I believe the phrase that I want to use here. So we're going to talk about the Ethniki. Maybe some people want to hear about other things, but we'll talk about the Greek national team today. So, Adi, I guess there's nowhere better to start than the squad. I'm just going to read names off, and we'll go by the positions. So the goalkeepers, obviously Vlachodimos will probably start, and then Diudis and Paskalakis are backup goalkeepers. We also have in defense Androutsos, Saliakas, Hatsidiakos, Kyriakos Papadopoulos. Mavropanos was selected, but I believe he's injured, so he won't be playing. Zavelas, Yanoulis, Chimikas, Koutris, Retsos. So quite a few defenders in the squad there. In the midfield, Zeka, Galanopoulos, Bakasetas, Alexandropoulos, Bouchalakis, Shiopis, and credit to JVS for literally finding some random guy I've never heard of in my entire life, Yannis Papanikolaou, who is a central midfielder that will be playing with us. So interested to see what he can do. I'm sure he'll get at least a little bit of time because we do have a friendly game on Wednesday. And then in attack, we have Vrusai, Masouras, Funtas, Limnios, Mantalos, Pavlidis, Douvikas. Solis was originally included. He is now replaced by Hatziovanis. So, I don't know, Adi. Not the greatest looking squad, especially now that Solis is out. He was off to a strong start in England. But what are your initial thoughts? Was there anything that surprised you? Anyone that you are missing that you would have wanted to see in the team?
I'm going to be honest with you. I was surprised to see Retsos' name in there and Papanikolaou. I like seeing different people called up, but Papanikolaou is interesting. The more interesting part is Papanikolaou is also more of a 6. So we just seem to call up yet another 6 into this team.
Yeah.
I did like seeing that Alexandropoulos is in there, so that does give me a little bit more hope. But the sad thing is, Pelkas was hurt, which is why he wasn't in the call sheet. Fortounis, we also know, is hurt, not in the call sheet. So what other creative players
There's nothing in JVS's way. It's going to be Bakasetas all 90 minutes of each game. I mean, Mantalos maybe, but we all know JVS is going to go with his guy.
The thing for me is I know that Yakumakis accumulated yellows and he was going to miss one of the games anyway, but I still think he should have been called up. One, I know there were some people that were concerned that he hadn't been playing, but Kyriakos Papadopoulos has
Literally
played
a free
17
agent.
minutes. He doesn't even have a team right
Yeah.
now. So you guys are concerned with Giacomakis, who's literally about to sign with Celtic.
I mean, also
And
not to be that
Kyriakos
guy,
Papadopoulos
but
has no team.
not to be that guy, but like Vrusai has not played very much recently either, we can say.
Yeah.
Or and the thing is,
for that matter.
No, yeah. To be honest, I guess maybe it's a matter of not having anyone else available, but I was a bit surprised to see him. But yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see Giacomakis even. I guess he's going to have to serve his suspension sometime theoretically. So, I guess they're just putting it off, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, that's the team, folks. As we said, Mavropanos is injured, and it doesn't appear that it's been announced who is replacing him. Please no Svarnas. Maybe they'll replace him with someone at another position because they do have quite a few defenders in the team. But yeah, definitely that Papa Nicolau guy. Like I said, I'd never heard of him. I went and looked him up and went and saw where he played, but still haven't watched him play. So I'd certainly be intrigued to see him get in there. I don't know how much he will play. I think we'll probably see a lot of Zeka, a little bit of Bouchalakis, maybe a little bit of Siopis and Galanopoulos in the central midfield as well. But, we do have the friendly against Switzerland on Wednesday. So obviously that we'll probably see some really fun stuff from JVS and see a lot of players play that wouldn't normally play before the big games come up and it's back to plan A.
Yeah, I gotta. What did Gotsiras do to not ever get a call up? I wish
That's
I
a
could
really good question.
understand that, because for right backs, he's one of the best that we have. Don't get me wrong, I'd be happy if Adroutsos plays because I want to see Adroutsos play, but we all know he's not the best right back available, especially defensively. But Gotsiras is a little bit more well-rounded. He's a good player. And he, for some reason, never gets a call up. Saliakas, I was pretty high on last season in Greece, but I don't know. So, sometimes I wonder what's going through JVS's head. When you look at this roster, there's no goal poacher. There's no prototypical 9 on this roster at all. You have Pavlidis, who we all know is much more of a hold-up player. He's started off the season well so far, but not a typical number 9. Funtas, closer in some respects, but a better ball player as well, on fire to start the season. And Douvikas. I love Douvikas. I think he's a very talented player. Also started the season well. Not a typical number 9. So I'm just confused, and I'm worried we're going to see something like Funtas get pushed out on the wing again, which, even though we know he can play there, I don't know. I'm so concerned. But at the same time, I can't necessarily fault him because our better players are hurt in a lot of positions. So there's not much else he can do.
I mean, I guess the one thing would have been Giacomakis in
well, that's what we said earlier.
That's an easy solution. And it's funny, I think, because, Giacomakis, I think, is becoming a divisive player. I know Lambro doesn't like him very much.
But not because he doesn't like him because he doesn't like him as a player. It's because he scored against Olympiacos.
But I think my point stands. I think he had a big season, but he also had a big season in a very poor team in a division where people score lots of goals. So, I think there are some people who are like, oh, Giacomakis, look at all these goals he scored. What a player he is. And then there are other people like, calm down, guys. It's the Dutch league. Everyone scores lots of goals.
And that's a fair point.
And so
he didn't get a team.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I think there's a bit of polarization there, but hold your horses, JVS, because like I think even the people sort of that aren't as high on him would agree that he's, you know, good enough to be in this team. You know, as we said, like, you know, there's basically 3 strikers, and Funtas might not even be used as a striker in this team, and none of them really have the quality and that like ability to pop up for goals, that ability to like win stuff in the air, that strength in the box that Giakoumakis does. I really feel like you could have chosen to include him and drop another winger, even if that would mean, I guess, only playing with 3 wingers, maybe 4, depending on how JVS uses people. But I wouldn't mind seeing Funtas on the wing if it meant Giakoumakis up top. I'm just worried we're going to see Funtas on the wing and then like Vrusai up top. I don't even know. Like, so that's sort of my thoughts about that, Adi. I guess Giakoumakis is one player I was really surprised not to see. He's obviously been called up, and yeah, like you said about match fitness, like no one in the Greek league has played games. Panathinaikos has played friendlies only. So
yeah, from our co-host Costa, who, as you guys know, yesterday said he will not be saying anything on the national team until things change.
he's saying things.
He's typing things. I guess that's semantics here. Pavlidis' goal assist the other day, no brainer up front, but JVS not in control. Pavlidis did have a great game yesterday. Our good friend Chuck actually was tweeting nonstop about him yesterday. Had a lot of opportunities, great chances on target. So good to see. I mean, but everybody that's been called up has started the season off well. Funtas and Pavlidis in particular have been on fire. And now everybody believes we have like a curse at the number 9 for Greece because no one can seem to score there. I just believe that JVS in particular doesn't seem to get the best out of these strikers. I don't believe in curses. I do believe in impotent managers, and JVS is one. So I don't know what's going to happen. I hope, you know, I always say like, oh, maybe we'll see something in the friendly that he'll do. And he'll probably do something fun, and it might look cool, and we might play well against Switzerland. But then he's going to go back, and we're going to play like ass against Kosovo. And this is a round or a series of games. We have to win both games, because if Sweden wins that first game, and we don't get 3 points from Kosovo, that's it. We've lost the qualification now. There's nothing we can do about it. This is a really important set of games. You know what I mean? And we could win against Kosovo and maybe stomach a draw against Sweden. And the reason I say maybe is because then at least it's, you know what, we're still probably 3 or 4 points behind Sweden. And it's not the easiest thing to do, because then we're hoping for Sweden to fail, but it's better than nothing. But still, I mean, for me, we're in a position you have to win both games, or this qualification is in jeopardy. FM_Pana. We're not going to be touching anything Olympiacos today. It's going to be Ethniki, but we are monitoring this, and we will be getting things out on socials as stuff happens. Fetanos, you're absolutely right here. Isakson, oh my God, I'm worried about what he's going to do to our defense. So
Lambro forgot to log into his burner account today. He says, nice hats, nerds. No one cares about NT. Talk Olympiacos. Hey, look, nerds, guys, if you don't care, don't watch. It's really that simple. But we will have Olympiacos content out in a couple of days. We usually do a midweek episode and a weekend episode. We literally had an episode yesterday, and we'll have something coming out soon about Olympiacos. We just figured we'd do a quick one on the national team, and we'll be back. We'll be tweeting stuff as well all day. So feel free to talk about, hit us with a DM on there, add us, if you really have any questions for us, just give us an @ and that includes you as well, Labro. Thank you for the hats comment. But yeah, so to review, we've got the friendly against Switzerland, as you mentioned, Adi, and then we've got our big rivals, Kosovo, a huge team that we've had some absolute duels with in the Nations League, and then we've got Sweden. And as you said, Adi, like Project Qatar, like we have to start accumulating these points. All this talk about making the World Cup, we've got to put something into action. And so that's what JVS has got to do. So I don't know, Adi, I guess maybe we can talk about tactics more specifically. We sort of outlined the squad. We've got Fetanos saying at least defensive powerhouse Moldova isn't in the group. Sounds about right. Moldova also massive rivals of JVS, and yeah, well, we're glad we've avoided them.
Yes.
But yeah, Adi, I guess we can maybe go through and say what we would want to see as far as the starting 11. And then, we can probably comment a bit on what we expect to see from JVS because he's whatever's going on behind the scenes, he ends up being a pretty predictable guy when it really matters. But I think we can obviously all agree Vlachodimos will be in goal. Of course, I would like to see Chimikas. He's been off to an incredible start. We really haven't talked about it as much as we should be. But so proud of Chimikas, although this random Robertson guy is like back from injury and starting ahead of Chimikas. Like, I don't even know who this guy is, but he's back in the team. But I still think there's a role for Chimi in rotating and, being a sub. But yeah, I hope Chimikas starts at the left. He's got no excuse not to at this point. He's probably been arguably the best Greek player in the last few weeks in terms of form. The center backs are quite poor. I almost want to see Retsos, even though I was surprised to see him in the team at all. I don't even know how he's been playing recently, but I'm looking at Savelas, Papadopoulos. Like, these names don't really get me excited. Maybe Retsos in there. I guess maybe we have to end up including Saveras. He does play all right for the Ethniki, but so maybe those two, or maybe Hatzidiakos instead of Retsos as well. Yeah, to be honest, Adi, I know, we've maybe been a bit hard on Androutsos when we talk Olympiacos, but I would almost start Kotsiras if he was included in the team, to be honest with you. But I think I'll go with Androutsos on the right. I guess it maybe depends. Maybe if we're playing Sweden, we don't want to have Androutsos. We want to have someone more defensive minded, but that is probably my back four. We can go with Zeka and Garanopoulos in the midfield. Hopefully Garanopoulos gets some football under his belt here for the Ethniki, some real minutes for the first time in a while, and we can see some of the good stuff that we saw a couple of years ago. And I guess out of necessity, Bakasetas for me would sit on the bench if I was the manager. And Mantalos in that number 10 spot does not do a bad job, so I would go with him. On the wing, we've got to have Masuras. And then honestly, Adi, I'm going to put Funtas out there just because there's nobody else. I don't want to see Hatzidiaka or Hatziyovanis. I don't want to see Limnios. And sorry, Vrusai, I don't really think he's up for it either. So I'm actually going to put Funtas out there just out of pure necessity, even though I know, we've talked about that we don't like doing that. And then I guess Pavlidis starts up front. Maybe he can sort of facilitate out to the wing and our wingers can score some goals with him distributing, or maybe he gets on the score sheet as well, even though he never seems to do so with the Ethniki. But that's kind of what I would do. And, I expect Kuli Papadopoulos and Savelas at the back. I expect probably some weird combination that we can't even predict it in the front three. And I expect Bakasetas in there, but who knows? Maybe we'll see something cool.
When it comes to the defense, I don't think we have much of a choice. You have to have Androutsos in there because from the injuries that have happened and what we know the lineup is going to be, at least for the qualifiers, there's not going to be much of an offensive spark. So you need somebody that's going to overlap and get forward. It has to be Tsimikas on the other end because not that we don't have a lot of left backs that can play, but he's the one that defends the best. Maybe because because of what's available, we play Giannoulis as a left wing. That experiment.
I was going to mention that.
interesting.
I wonder if we'll see that maybe just even in a friendly, because like the wingers
Yeah.
are so bleak right now, and Giannoulis obviously can.
And the experiment he did before with that, it didn't bear a lot of fruit, we'll say. But at the very least, it was interesting to see. Maybe we try it again because we don't really have much else we can work with. Again, forgetting the friendly, you're going to see Tsavelas, Kyriakos Papadopoulos. He's used them plenty already, and especially with Mavropanos hurt, any hope of them not starting is gone. So he's going to play those two together. That's going to be your center back. It's probably going to be Tsimikas, and I'd imagine at the very least against Kosovo, Adrutos will play right back. Maybe Saliakas is going to play against Sweden because he's more defensive minded. We'll see. The midfield is going to be, for me, it has to be Galanopoulos, and then either one of Zeka or Siopis. Siopis had very nice energy. But I have a nasty feeling we might not see that. I think we're going to see like two sixes. I think we're going to see maybe Zeka or Bukhalakis, Zeka, Siopis. Then we're in real trouble because Bakasetas is going to be playing the 10, and he's not creative at all. And we're probably going to see, he might give Limnios a shot. I'm not going to be surprised if I see that. I would prefer to see somebody like Masuras, even if he's on the right, because at least he gets into some scoring positions. And you have to play, if you're going to be playing with inside wingers, you need some that actually have an eye for goal and that are actually going to get opportunities. And statistically, that's going to be Masuras based on what we have here, especially with Notsolis. So that's and then at striker, he seems to go with Pavlidis more often than not, and I'm okay with that in this. I do want to see Funtas though, because Funtas has just been on fire. So he needs to get an opportunity, whether it's a sub or whether it's starting against, Kosovo out on the wing. I'm okay with that as well. I'm mega worried. For those that maybe don't know when the teams are playing, September 1st is the friendly against Switzerland. September 5th is the game against Kosovo. And then 3 days later on the 8th is going to be the game against Sweden, which is really important. Comment here from Oli FC Fan Club in California. Thank you for joining us. There are more promising and faster defenders than Kyriakos Papadopoulos, Retsos, and Nicolaou. Yeah, there are. You're absolutely right. But as we've beaten to death on this podcast, it's not about that. We know that. There are other politics at play, unfortunately. That's something that spineless JVS isn't going to ever confront. So you're never going to see probably the 2 or 3 names I know are in your head as long as JVS is coach, and we just have to deal with that.
Also, I want to say, if the person operating Olympiacos FC Fan Club of California is in California right now at 3:43 a.m. watching Gate 7 International, huge shout out, absolutely massive shout out. We appreciate you. But I don't know, maybe they're in Greece or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree as well. Kyriakos Papadopoulos does not have a club right now. This guy went to Saudi Arabia, chased the money, and couldn't even get in the team. Obviously some good players go to Saudi Arabia, but at the end of the day, they have a cap on foreign players. Like usually the foreign players are the ones playing a lot. It's usually quite easy for them to get in the team, and he's absolutely not done that. So a bit concerning from that, but he's still, as we said, it's very likely that he plays every serious minute of football for us, which is a bit unfortunate, to be honest with you. This is kind of what makes these a bit more boring. Oh, they are in the Bay Area. So there you go. We appreciate
lovely.
you either staying up very late or getting up early. For me, I'm an early bedtime person, so 3 a.m. is getting up early. But if maybe you're up late, but either way, huge appreciation. Thank you so much for tuning in. But yeah, Adi, I mean, these previews are almost a bit more boring because in a way we do a lot of times just sort of know what's going to happen in terms of the starting 11. It's going to be Bakasetas. We're going to drone. We're going to say what we've said before. It's not news to anybody. It's gonna be Tsaveras and Papadopoulos. We're gonna get this stuff. But at the end of the day, Adi, as we said, this is a huge pair of games against Kosovo and Sweden. You mentioned basically we want to really get 6 points or at least 4 points to even think about being able to qualify again. So, Adi, I want to ask you, let's say we get 3 points or less. So maybe we beat Kosovo and we lose to Sweden, or we draw both, or we just draw one of them. How badly do you think we have to do for JVS to just get the hook, as they say, to get sacked? Do you think it happens after
Kosovo.
these games?
He draws Kosovo. He draws
You think
Kosovo.
he's gone?
I think he's gone. Now, part of me wonders if there's going to be some leniency because everybody's injured. Don't forget, guys, Masouras is injured. I think I actually brought him up as like starting on the wing, but Masouras is injured. I don't even think he's making the trip now that we're talking about it. So his winger choices are literally Limio, Katsiovanis, Vrusai.
Disgusting.
If he plays Funtas on the wing. So he doesn't really
have honestly,
a lot of
Giannoulis is the best option. It has to be said.
Even so for that left wing, yeah.
Yes.
Even so, though, if he draws Kosovo, that's it. It's done. Because it's still Kosovo. You still have other options that you neglected to pick up or bring with you. Maybe not many of them, but you had other options. And you put yourself in this position. It just has to be said. He put himself here with the decisions he made against Georgia. So we have to win. It doesn't matter what resources are available. We have to win against Kosovo. If he does not win against Kosovo, the job's in jeopardy. Just to bring up, we didn't actually go through the points or the standings for the group yet, but Spain is currently winning the group. They have got 7 points. They did play 3 games. They're one of only 2 teams that have played 3 games so far. So they're at the top of the group with 7 points. Sweden's got 2 wins, 2 games, 2 wins, 6 points. They're in second. We've got 2 draws from 2 games. So we're sitting at 2 points. Georgia's got 1 point and Kosovo has nothing. So it's not yet out of reach for us. Not yet. But we draw against Kosovo. There's problems. So we need to get the win. I don't care how ugly it is. Has to be a win. He doesn't win against Kosovo, he's on the hot seat, especially if he then turns around and loses to Sweden. Huge problem. Huge problem. And yeah, Zafiro 05, we are doomed without Fortunis. I agree with you. JVS won't admit it, and Fortunis bailed him out on more than a couple scenarios. And he still treated him like crap. So, you know what? Now he doesn't have the crutch. Now he doesn't have the impact sub that can change things for him off the bench. So we'll see. He what's this? How does the saying go? You made your bed, now you sleep in it.
There you go.
This is what's gonna happen. He made his bed, now he gets to sleep in it. Fetanos. Why do you do this to me, man?
Guys, is there low key? Fetanos has a point. Like, God, I'm sorry, but like the wingers are so poor for this team. They're so goddamn poor. I actually let me see. Kolovos, what form has he been in recently?
No, I don't care. No, Kolovos is. I'm done. I'm done with him. I know he's like the only Greek seeing Champions League football right now. But
that's embarrassing. Well, no, Chimikas.
Yeah.
Chimikas is it.
Well, yes, Chimikas as well. But again, if Chimikas sees Champions League football, now that Robertson's back,
he will. He'll get rotated. He'll certainly get at least a sub appearance, I think. But anyway,
Kolovos had a goal against Dinamo Zagreb in the qualifiers. So,
guys, I hate to say it, I really do. I know there's a lot of Olympiacos fans watching, but Vrusai is not as good as Kolovos right now. It hurts to come out of my mouth. It really does hurt, but we just got to accept the hard truth sometimes around here, folks. I really do apologize. But anyway, Fetanos makes a lot of joking comments, so I'm actually not sure if he was even serious, but I actually would not have minded seeing Kolovos called up, which is a very rare sight. If if it was anything under besides these circumstances, I would be laughing and being pissed off. But yeah, he's another omission that you could talk about. Yeah, exactly. Well, Fetano says, how bad is the Ethniki if Kolovos is an upgrade on the current players? Yeah, it's pretty damn awful. That's how bad it is. But I also wanted to say Spain do play Sweden in this set of games. So that sort of helps us as well in the sense that one of those teams or both of them are going to drop points. So we are 4 points behind Sweden. But, if we get a result there and then Spain beat them, we're looking really good. So, it's not over yet, but we're, as we said, we're going to need to do something. And it's been a while since our last Ethniki episode. So I will remind people that I think all of us had basically given up on JVS after the Georgia game. I think we all had a podcast where we're like, get this guy out. I don't want to see anything else. He needs to go. So, we're not going to sit here and act like we need to see anything more. If he doesn't do it in these 2 games, if Kosovo, we drop points, I'm going to be calling for his head. If we, even if we beat Kosovo and don't do anything against Sweden, mathematically speaking, it's going to be very difficult to get back in the race. So yeah, I mean, it's already a long shot, but I think JVS has to go. And I think he should go as soon as the qualification is out of reach, which could very much be out of this after this pair of games.
Hold on. I know we said we weren't going to talk anything on Olympiacos, but we are getting a ton of comments about the Ruben Semedo news, or what's being called the Semedo news. Guys, this news was actually breaking in the form of an SDNA article yesterday. So everything I have seen so far, it has not yet been named or mentioned if Semedo was a part of this. I'm not going to bring up what it was that it is believed that he did yet, because we don't even know yet if it's him that did it. No one yet has been named. And the ones that are saying it's him are fans of Panathinaikos and PAOK. Okay? We are not going to bring this up yet until we see what actually happened. Semedo is already on the way out one way or another, regardless of what this was. There were off the field antics. There were issues playing. That's why he's leaving. So we'll comment on Semedo once we find out what the real story is behind what's going on. I'm not going to say anything else beyond that. But Peter, as for the Ethniki, I think it's a good time for us to do some predictions here.
I think so as well, Adi.
Maybe not for the friendly, obviously, but for the 2 qualifiers. Or actually, no, do the friendly as well. Do the friendly as well.
So, yeah, for the friendly, I think we're going to – I know Switzerland are much better than us, but I think we're going to draw because it's a friendly. Maybe they back off and we, play something cool. I think 1-1 will be the score of the friendly. I think Funtas will get on the score sheet with a goal, which might be his first goal for Greece, but I might be mistaken on that. It's also a friendly, so I don't know. Maybe people say that doesn't count, but I'll say a draw against Switzerland, and maybe we see a new formation. Maybe we see some players that we didn't expect, but I think a rather positive performance as we see with the friendlies, and then I think we're going to draw against Kosovo, Adi. I think we're going to draw. I think 1-1 again will be the score. Bakasetas penalty. I'm just feeling it in my heart. JVS's boy will get on the score sheet. I don't think he's going to win the penalty, but I think he will score the penalty and will concede at some point. I think we'll draw 1-1. I think we'll look toothless in attack, especially if we don't play the right fullbacks to get those guys involved. And I think maybe Kosovo will pop up. They have actually a decent bit of talent in their team and attacking players, but so I think they will get a goal. I think it will be 1-1. I don't know if JVS will be canned after that game. They might wait until after the set is over, so they don't have to have a new manager for Sweden. But I think after that result, we're going to lose to Sweden maybe 3-1 or 2-0. I don't think it will be a close game. I think we maybe could get on with a goal somewhere, but I think Sweden are going to handle us. As Fecino said earlier, Isak is a talented player. And they're just they're a big country. They've got a lot of players playing in really good teams. It's going to be a difficult one. So yeah, Adi, I'm not very optimistic. I'm predicting 1 point from these two competitive games, but what do you think is going to happen?
Switzerland is going to be probably a fun game, as we know. I'll say, you know what? I'm going to say it'll be fun and maybe a 2-1. 2-1, Greece beats Switzerland. Kosovo, I got a bad feeling. I have a really bad feeling.
Yeah.
I envision a 1-1 draw against Kosovo.
Adi and I, great minds think alike. Yeah.
And then probably a 2-1 loss to Sweden. That's what I'm envisioning. I obviously hope for the best, but we'll see what happens.
As FM Pana says, we've got Savelas to pocket Isak. Don't worry. But anyway, feel free to drop your predictions in the chat, guys, if you've got them. That's basically the crescendo of the pod. So we're going to start wrapping up soon. Zaferopo5 says JVS Masterclass incoming. Yeah, and the friendly. I bet we'll see some cool stuff. But that's about, I think, all we have for the Ethniki. Once again, guys, I know we have a section of our fan base, and don't worry, we still love you, but the section of the fan base that doesn't like the Ethniki. And don't worry, guys, because Lambro understands you very well. Costa understands you as well. So we'll be back to Olympiacos content soon. But, we just wanted to get a quick one out for people who like the Ethniki, because we know we have a lot of listeners who enjoy hearing this stuff. Fetano says, only way for Tsavelas to pocket Isak is to break both of his legs. I really hope that doesn't happen. We've got FM Pana says 1-0 against Kosovo with Pen Casetas, which is a nickname that I'm going to start using, scoring the penalty. So we were on the same wave about how Greece are going to get their goal. But FM Pana believes we'll get the 3 points. I could certainly see the 3 points. This team hasn't played in a while, so it is going to be, maybe we'll see a team that plays a lot better with a lot more energy and a lot more intent in the attack. Maybe JVS has actually learned something in 6 months, but I don't want to be that optimistic because I'm not.
Peter, before we sign off, I'm getting DMs here. Okay, guys, because we did post on the podcast now, Ruben Semedo has been arrested. Okay. Yes, he has been arrested, but we are not going any further than that. Because remember, being arrested doesn't yet mean he's guilty. So we're not speaking on anything else. We don't have any more information. This is why I said we're not going to speak on it. We need to see the information first. Being arrested is one thing. He hasn't been found guilty yet. We don't know what legal action is going to be taken. So we can't speak on it. He's been arrested. That's all we know. There's fan accounts, like I said, from other teams that are saying this and that, linking different things. It's bullshit. Don't listen to them. We're gonna find out what happens, and as it happens, we will continue to tell you. But we're not going to speak anymore until we have more information. This is very serious, this whole situation, and we want to make sure we have the correct information before we tell you anything. That's all.
Yeah, guys, exactly. We trust me. If we learn more and find out that there is a guilty verdict, we're gonna have takes. We will not be short of things to say. Trust us. But we don't want to get all worked up and rant and all this stuff only to have things go a certain way. So we will talk about this stuff when we have more information. Right now, there's a lot of mess flying around. As Adi said, like this all started with an SDNA article. Take that what you will. So, we will talk about it soon. I promise. Feel free to get at us on social media as well, because, we'll always be there as new news comes out. Something new might come out in the next couple of days. You can tweet at us. You can DM us on Instagram, Gate7INTL, and we'll be there to chat with you about it and get our take. But right now, guys, we don't want to say anything. We don't know anything yet. But that's about all we have today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, especially if you've made it this far. I know it's a weird time, unconventional time, and it's the Ethniki, but, international break, we've got to find something to talk about other than Olympiacos for a little bit. We will be back soon with more Olympiacos news. There's always stuff going on, transfers, this Semedo stuff. But yeah, we don't want to touch it yet. So until then, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Much love. and we will see you very soon.
You just listened to an episode of the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Brussels to Tokyo, from Toronto to Geneva. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never miss out on the latest updates and stories of the team you love. If you liked what you heard, make sure to follow us on social media at Gate7INTL. Give us a subscribe on YouTube or even leave a review on all our podcast channels. Until next time, this is our team, our city and our story. Θρύλος είσαι. Στο μυαλό κάτι μαγικό.